Is anybody else really excited for the new Harry Potter game, but also really scared that it's gonna be terrible? Because that's me. I don't know, man. Like, I love Harry Potter. I've been excited for this game for years, ever since they announced it. And as it gets closer, they're revealing more about the game. And even though it looks aesthetically amazing, it's screaming microtransaction fest. And even though the game's not an MMO, it's gonna suck the fun out of it. Like, oh my god, I hope it's complete and I hope it's just not microtransactions. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and happy Tuesday. Today I'm going to be updating my power rankings because I haven't done them in a while, so this will be the official Week 16 power ranking video. I'm going to do it the same way I've done it in the previous videos, which is on a tier list, so before we hop into it, we got a couple of plugs as always. One, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Two, if you're 18 years or older, head over to Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app, or code WyattzWorld to match up to $100 of your first deposit, but they are partnering with Toys for Tots tonight, guys. Every 4-pick flex donates $1 to Toys for Tots, so that's a very good cause. And finally, if you're trying to hook your parents up with some unique affordable gifts for this holiday season, hit the link in my bio. It will bring you to the ultimate Christmas gift guide of 2022. All right, enough blabbering. Let's get into my Week 16 power rankings. Alright everybody, so here we are at the power ranking list. It's teams 1 through 32 and there's only one way to start, so let's get going. So team number 32, the worst team in the league. I don't think this has changed since my first power rankings. That is still the Texans. They're 1-11-1 now, I think, or 1-12-1. Like, it's pathetically bad. I mean, it's gone from Davis Mills to Jeff Driscoll back to Davis Mills. Damian Pierce is out for the season. It's not looking good there. Even though the last 2 weeks you guys have arguably played your best football, you still haven't won. Up next at number 31, we've got the Colts. Look, I don't care if they started off dominating the Vikings 33-0. That's great to see, but they blew it. Whether it's real, whether it's staged, because we all know I think it's staged, that was the most pathetic excuse of an NFL team we have ever gotten to see. 33 points. That is 5 touchdowns you allowed. Like, you are the second to worst team in the league, arguably the worst. All right, on to number 30. We got the Cardinals. It's not even hating at this point. You guys don't have Kyler Murray. You guys are 4-10. You're not going to make the playoffs. Like, literally, you are one of the worst teams in the league. I know I've been battling it out with you guys all year. This is just facts, though. And especially without Kyler Murray, like, your offense fucking sucks. Moving on to 29, we got the Rams. They're just bad right now. There's no way around it. They don't have anybody to play. Somehow their defense is still like a top half D, but their offense literally ranks dead last right now in the NFL. After the Rams, we got the Broncos. Are they actually good with Brett Rippon? I doubt it. But this week they didn't look that bad. He played well. Their defense was great. They're not a playoff contending team. They're already knocked out, but I think out of the 4 teams below them, they're right now the best of them all. All right, on to number 27, we got the Bears. Now, this one might strike a couple people as weird because they have fewer wins than every team below them besides the Texans. However, I would take the Bears over any of the teams. Clearly, because honestly, I think Justin Fields makes that offense so damn good. They're close to winning every single time Justin Fields plays, but they just can't seal it. I mean, they go out there, they fight, but I believe, honest to God, with just the roster and the talent they're provided, they don't have enough to win. So after this offseason, after the draft, I am expecting them to be actually a group of monsters. All right, on to 26, we got the Falcons. I mean, they're just not good. They were never that good. Both their defense and their offense rank 5th last in the league. It's a blessing that I'm even giving them up to 26 because statistically they should be number 28. Their defense is able to make plays seldomly. Their offense can score points if their running backs can run. But you take away those 2 aspects and Kyle Pitts being on the IR and Drake London not having a quarterback, the team is worthless. And on to 25, we got the Panthers. I would barely take them over Atlanta just because I think they got more star power on the roster. I think their receivers are actually extremely underrated. DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, Laviska Shenault. Defense obviously has a ton of talent on them, like the guys I mentioned weekly and Brian Burns, JC Horn. I'm a CJ Henderson fan. They're not a great complete team, but they have a lot of key pieces that teams would kill to have. So one offseason and this team could actually be a monster as well. All right, and on to number 24, we'll keep the NFC South going, and we got the Saints, who continue to be one of the weirdest teams in the NFL, one of the most unpredictable teams in the NFL. They have the 11th ranked defense in the league right now. That's certainly not bad. It's just their offense. You don't know where they're going to hit you from. You're going to have Taysom Hill throw an 80-yard bomb to Rashid Shaheed. You're going to have Andy Dalton hook up with Chris Olave. You're going to have Kamara catch 5 screens in a row. Like, they're so weird. It looks like a different game plan every single week on their offense, and I feel like that's why some of the times they look so good and why some of the times they look so bad. Also, I just want to point out, I feel like I have not heard about the Saints at all this year, so if I didn't do these videos, I would have forgotten they existed. Next up at 23, we got the Packers. Look, Rodgers is still hanging on to the playoff hope, and shockingly, it's not dead because the NFC is so bad, but I think he's delusional. Also, why do the receivers still not know their routes? Why is Christian Watson taking balls to the back of the head? I would love to give them more credit, but they just shut down the Rams, the literal worst offense in football right now. I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're going to turn it around. And I think as of right now, they're a bottom 10 team in the league. All right, on to 22, we got the Bucks. I mean, how high can you really put them? They just keep losing. Thought they had it this week. Thought they were going to turn around. Nope, I was wrong. Offense was basically non-existent in the second half, and their number 6 defense allowed 31 points in one half of football. They're not turning anything around. They're the same team they've been all year. What world do we live in where a division leader is a bottom 10 team in my list? Wow. All right, number 21, Pittsburgh. These guys are weird too. They're like 2 points shy of winning their last 4 games in a row. Their defense has been playing like absolute studs since TJ's been back. Their offense is just their biggest issue right now. And honestly, the fact that they keep swapping quarterbacks, even if it's due to injury or not, it's not helping them because each quarterback strongly has a different receiver preference. That's good for nobody, and I wish that they would straighten that one out. But honestly, the Steelers as a whole, I think, are doing a lot better than people are giving them credit for. Number 20, I got the Raiders. Much like the Steelers, they're a point away from winning their last 4 straight games, even though Jacoby Myers kind of gave them the win this week. It still goes to show they have been playing better as a unit. They have been winning more. They have been succeeding more. Defense could always step it up, but when their offense is floating around the top 10, man, things could always be worse. All right, at 19, we got Cleveland. It looks like they're finding their passing game now. Watson's getting his head out of his ass. They still have 2 fantastic running backs behind them. Their defensive secondary played a hell of a game against the Ravens. They just got to tighten up against that run D. I think if they do, they can still make a splash this year. Up next, we got 18, and that is the Patriots. Realistically, it's Matt Patricia there that is, I think, 100% of the issues. There's no play calling there for Mac Jones. Like, it's nothing. It's either run the ball or he gets sacked or throws the ball in the dirt. This continues to be a team that can realistically walk into any building and kick anybody's ass, but having somebody call plays who has no idea what he's doing, I mean, it is tanking you guys. Up next at number 17, we got the Jets. I think they're a middle of the pack team, man. Far from the best, far from the worst. Defense can still play even though they got exposed, and their offense can be electric, although it's just hit or miss. Also would like to compliment their run game, even though this last week they got shut down. It's like the only week it's been shut down throughout the entire year. They've been super solid this season. Just wait on Breece Hall to come back, and you guys are going to be on top of it again. Moving on to 16, we got the Titans. It's getting really hard for me to, like this team like I did a couple weeks ago, but I still think they're very solid. I still think Vrabel is an excellent coach. Their offense, it really needs that explosion that they had with AJ Brown. And every week that I think it's coming back, it just fades away. They can hang in there with anybody. I mean, you see it every week. They don't give up. It's always close. It's always down to the whistle. But with just such a hit or miss receiving game, I can't continue to put them up high like they're a top 10 team or a top 13 team even. All right, moving on to 15, we got Seattle. Look, this team has lost 4 of its last 5 games. Their defense is 4th worst in the NFL. They have been descending. There is absolutely no argument about that. They are dropping on my list, probably like everybody else's, but their offense continues to surprise the hell out of me. Whatever circumstances are provided, whatever weapons are there for usage, they find ways to at least score. They find ways to drive. They find ways to at least somewhat keep it a game. Even though this last week they kind of got slapped, they were still functioning. All right, moving on to 14, we got Washington. Don't even give me this shit right now. They got fucked. Number 4 ranked defense in all of football, and their offense has been electric lately. I don't care if they lost this last week. Like I said, they got screwed. Go look at the box score. Their offense drove up and down, back and forth, front to finish of that field. This team can play, this team can make stops, and this team can win. They just got to have the right officiating crew. Moving on to 13, I'll give it to the Giants. Whether there's controversy, whether there is not, they tied Washington the first time they played, and they beat them the second. Talked about him a little bit yesterday, Kayvon Thibodeau. He's looking like an absolute machine, and their offense continues to score points and drive down the field with a group of guys who were bagging groceries last week. Either way, I'll keep him at 13. I'll give him the one up over the Commanders, but you got to keep winning, New York. All right, on to number 12, I'm taking Jacksonville. They are averaging 367 yards and 24 points of offense every single week right now. They are so electric, and people are forgetting next year they get Calvin Ridley. They are going to be so scary, and Trevor is going to be even better. You already know that. Sorry to say it, Tennessee, but I hope the Jags steal the division from you. All right, on to 11, we got the Lions. They have won 6 of the 7 last games that they have played, and the one game that they did lose was against the Bills on Thanksgiving, which they almost did win. From a Detroit standpoint, their defense has been playing out of their minds. Offense is still 4th in the league, averaging 27 points. There's not much you can write off about the Lions at this point in time. Like, they are legitimately looking like they might be elite. All right, on to 10, we got Baltimore. They'll go back up once they get Lamar Jackson. They're just in a little bit of a slump right now without him. I mean, they just lost 13-10. It's not like they're getting their shit kicked in. It's a matter that their offensive game plan revolves around one man, and he's not present right now. I mean, look at their team right now. Their defense is allowing 18 points a game. If you put Lamar Jackson on their offense, how many times are they going to outscore that? Well, that doesn't mean they're going to win every game that they have Lamar, but statistically, it means they're going to have a much higher probability. All right, moving on to number 9, we got the Chargers. I still like them. I want them to be good. I think they can be good. They're just very inconsistent. One of the better rosters in the league, one of the better offenses in the league, just one of the dumber coaches in the league. Now, their last 3 games are the Colts, Rams, and Broncos, so I expect them to full-fledged win out. And if they do lose even one of those games, I'm sending them to the XFL. All right, number 8, it goes to Miami. I respect them. I still think they're great. I still think they're dangerous, and I still think they're going to make the postseason. But guys, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I'm not wrong. It's the defense. It's a defensive fucking issue. What's hurting you are games where you're giving up 32 points, 23 points, 33 points, 27 points, 32 points. You need to get that under control, man. If you guys just reduce the points given up by 50%, you're probably undefeated. All right, on to 7, we got Dallas. They're still a credible team. They're still a dangerous team. They're still one of the most menacing teams out there. And their offense, I don't even want to get started on that, guys. 3 weeks ago, they scored 54 points. This week, they scored 34. They slipped. Like, that's it. Dallas slipped. Moving on to number 6, we got the Vikings by a hair because they were able to come back and win. If that's not fake, then they deserve to be a top 6 team. If a team can lay down and get kicked in the fucking head with a steel-toe boot for an hour and a half straight, go into the locker room, look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, we're gonna come back and win this shit, and then actually pull it off, I can't say nothing. There's no question that the Vikings have one of the best offenses in all of football. That's always been very apparent. It's just their defense continues to be this block of Swiss cheese that can be exposed by literally anybody. All right, on to number 5. These are all really good teams, obviously, from now on, but we're going to start off with Kansas City. They took a little bit of a drop because how do you even have a game with Houston? If you're supposed to be as good as you are, why was that game close? Why did you go to overtime? Why did you almost lose? I understand teams slipping like Dallas against Jacksonville. What I don't get is teams like Kansas City nearly slipping and falling flat on their face against a flag football team. Now, you guys won. That's great. You're still a pain in Buffalo's ass, but you're going to need to bounce back with a real dominating victory next week to convince me that you guys are still going to be this menacing KC team that you have been, which I believe you will, but right now I'm flabbergasted. All right, moving on to number 4, we got Cincinnati. They're playing like the Super Bowl team that they ended last year as. Throwing up points like it's nothing out of nowhere. Defense is able to lock people up. We just saw that against Tampa Bay, only allowing 6 points in the entire second half. I think they're going to the postseason and they're going to make a fucking splash. All right, number 3, give me the Bills. Love the fact that I've seen their offense return. Love the fact that I've seen MVP Josh Allen return. I hate the fact that their defense has kind of been disintegrating. Leslie, please, you got to lock that shit up and you got to do it now because these next 3 weeks are going to be crucial. All right, number 2, give me Philly. Would have them at number 1, but they really struggled with Chicago there. Like, they almost lost that game. It's like the Kansas City thing, you know, seeing a team that's supposed to be this good struggling with a team that is statistically so bad. Much as I like the Bears right now, like, the Eagles should have bulldozed them and they didn't. That tells you there's some holes there. Holes that can be patched, but holes that can be exposed, and they're holes that they're gonna need to fix. And number 1, it is San Francisco. There's nobody stopping them right now until the Bills in the Super Bowl. They're too good. They are seriously too good. They've won 7 straight games. I'm fairly certain ever since they got McCaffrey, they still have not lost. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is, they're still gonna kick your ass. Doesn't matter if their defense is missing all of their starters. Their second string defense is better than your starting defense. Holy hell, it's gonna take a lot to stop them. A matter of fact, it's gonna take a Buffalo. Alright guys, anyway, that is it for my Week 16 NFL Power Rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you already know what to do to show support. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post on this channel every single day. Anyway, with everything I just said, I'm going to hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and as always, I will see you in the next video.